Hello, hello, my beautiful people, gorgeous online community, literally my reason for doing everything that I do. Hi, hello, how are you? It is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today. If you are new in my community, welcome. I am so happy and so grateful that you are here. I am Ashley Perkins, founder of ashleyperkins.com, where I support incredible people like you in getting your subconscious mind on board with the life, the business, and the relationships that you want to create so you can quantum shift and create it for yourself. And I had this incredible idea recently to begin a coaching series, begin some live coaching for you all, to support you where you're at, to support where you want to be. I've had such a powerful couple of weeks getting a few new one-on-one clients started, and I believe that really facilitated the idea to bring this coaching series to you. But really the core foundation of it all, the bedrock to it all, is focusing on getting your subconscious mind on board with the life and the business and the relationships you want to create, because that's truly where your creative power lies. And I want to help you really get in there and empower yourself to be, do, and have whatever it is you desire. So come on in, come hang out. We're going to have a ton of fun today. We're talking about gaining clarity on your desired outcome and tasking your subconscious mind to support you. In the meantime, as you are here and you are joining, introduce yourself in the comments. Let me know who you are, where in the world you're tuning in from, what your business is, and honestly, with the theme of today, what your desired outcome that you're working to create is. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. And so often in life, when we come against resistance, when we're working towards a new level, something we want to create in our life, in our business, in our relationships, we mistake that resistance as we're not confident or we don't have clarity. And the thing with that is, you're actually not having an issue with confidence or clarity. Confidence and clarity are states. They are states that can be accessed at any given moment, at any given time. What you are having an issue with, what you're struggling with, is not confidence or clarity. In fact, it's just taking action. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of failure, which, welcome to the human experience. We all struggle with fear of failure and fear of the unknown. It's a primitive instinct deep within all of our subconscious mind. Every new level of your life, your business and relationship comes with a new devil, but it's the awareness that you aren't happy where you are and that you do have the power to change that for yourself simply by taking action that makes all of the difference. And the minute you take one step, you're going to receive feedback, and that feedback is going to help guide you in the direction that you want to go, right? So if you take that step and you get feedback that you're not satisfied with, then you know to pivot, to try something new, to try something different, right? If you're doing things the way that you've always done them, you will get the same result that you've always gotten. And so, of course, it's natural for that fear to come up when you're doing things differently, right? Fear of, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? But there's no way for it not to work out as long as you continue taking that one step at a time, paying attention to the feedback and being adaptable to change and take action in new ways. And that's what I want to support you with today, okay? Because the best way, as I said, to cultivate clarity and confidence is to take action, aligned action, towards the outcome you want, right? And that key term, aligned, is so important. And so that's what we're going to work on today. Let's talk about taking action, and let's make sure that it is aligned with exactly what you want. Chances are you have probably heard of the term SMART goals, that capital SMART. Maybe it's meant something for you specifically, but I'm here to tell you exactly what it means with regards to the world of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which is what I am certified as a practitioner in, as well as a life and success coach. But this is what empowers me to work so deeply with your subconscious mind. And in the world of NLP, a SMART goal, so the S would stand for simple, simplistic, and see yourself. You really have to be able to see yourself. And the key to being able to see yourself is keeping it simple and making it specific. Your subconscious mind cannot process vague information and vague details. So it's your responsibility when you are creating goals and setting the outcome you want to create for yourself to make sure that it is extremely specific and extremely detailed. So ask yourself, what will you see? What will you hear? And what will you feel when you achieve that desired outcome? Get yourself into the state of having already achieved it so you can see yourself in it, so you can make sure that it is specific enough to task your subconscious mind to go to work to support you with, right? Moving on to the M in SMART goals, that would mean measurable and meaningful to you. Right? Because naturally, when we're working towards something new, when we're working to reach a new level in our life and our business and our relationships, from time to time, that resistance comes up. And the key to being able to move through that is to make sure that your goal is actually meaningful to you. It's actually something that you want. And moreover, that it's something that can be measured, right? The difference between states and outcomes, as I was saying, a state can be accessed instantaneously anywhere at any given moment in time. But an outcome, a goal, right, that takes work, that takes time to achieve, whether it be a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years. So make it measurable. That's the difference with the goal, right? So at what date and time, how much time do you believe that you will need to achieve that desired outcome? If we're spelling out SMART, we're now at A, and that means as if now. So as if you've already achieved it. Make sure it is achievable and it covers all areas of your life, right? Make sure it's ecological to all areas of your life. You're not just focusing on one specific area. Make sure it's going to elevate all areas of your life. Again, that goes back to the M, meaning it's meaningful to you. It makes it desirable to you. It makes you want it more. It makes those seasons of resistance a lot easier to move through. And I say as if now, when you are writing out a goal, a desired outcome that you have, you want to write it out as if you have already achieved it. Again, tasking your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a lived experience and one that you are creating and feeling with emotion. That's why, for instance, when you are remembering an experience from the past, a lived experience, whether it made you feel good or bad, you can experience those emotions all over again, because again, your subconscious mind believes that you are in that experience, in that present moment, when you are somewhere completely different, doing something completely different, only simply remembering it. It's so, so powerful. R in SMART goals is realistic and responsible and ecological. I touched on this very briefly as I was talking about achievable and making it cover all areas of your life. You want to be ecological, right? So you want to make sure that you are not causing yourself or anyone distress in the process of achieving your goal. So let's take McCarty Virtual Services LLC's goal of 10K a month, for example, which anyone working towards consistent 5-figure months, I am cheering you on so much. I remember really only a year ago breaking through that glass ceiling myself to creating consistent 5-figure months for myself. And it's just such an amazing accomplishment. And it's just a sign of how many people you are helping, how many people you are serving, and the impact on lives that you are having. So I'm cheering you on, but let's take that for example. That's ecological, right? Think about why you want it. So let's say, for example, you want to reach consistent 5-figure months, $10,000 a month specifically, because remember, we want to make sure it's specific. You want that because you want to be able to invest back in your business more so you can help more people. You want to be able to contribute to your community and perhaps charitable organizations that align with you and your values and the values of the work that you're doing. Perhaps you also want to create incredible experiences for yourself and the people that you love, and maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to put your child into a really good program at school. Maybe you want to just enjoy more freedom for yourself. That is all ecological, right? As long as it's safe for yourself, for others that it involves, and for the overall global community, that's an ecological goal. So you definitely want to check in with yourself and ask why you want this and why you want to create this for yourself, and follow what is responsible and what is ecological. Okay, wrapping up SMART goals, the T in SMART goals, make sure it's timed. So you want to give yourself a specific date or an amount of time to achieve the goal. That way, again, you're tasking your subconscious mind. People as human beings, if you give us an infinite amount of time to do something, we will take all of that up. If you give yourself 2 hours to complete a task, chances are you will fill that 2 hours completing that task. So set a realistic, specific date for yourself so your subconscious mind knows, okay, December 31st, 2019, it's in the calendar. Here we go, we're going to work. And you want to make sure it is also towards what you want, not away from what you don't want. This is a very common misconception. A lot of people in our society are away motivated, meaning they want to get away from something that's causing them discontent or discomfort. So let's say, again, you want to make $10,000 a month consistently. And let's say your why for that, instead of being all of the things I just mentioned, which are all positive and ecological and toward motivated, you want it because you want to get out of debt. You want to get out of your crappy apartment. You get what I'm saying with this? You want to buy a new car because the car you have now sucks. You don't want to do things that are away motivated. You don't want to set goals that are away motivated, because what you're doing is telling your subconscious mind to actually create more of what you don't want. When you're focusing on what you don't want, you're telling your subconscious mind to create more of what you don't want. So you want it to be toward motivated and focus on what you do want. Is this making sense? Is this helpful for you guys? Again, I never want these live coaching series sessions to be me talking at you. I want this to be interactive. I want you to have your say. I want you to have your input, because your input could guide the trajectory of this session. And that is my hope, really, to get you the desired outcome that you want. So speaking of outcomes, let's talk about creating achievable outcomes, because there is a formula and there is a process for this. And it empowers you to really collapse time and get from where you are now to that desired outcome so effortlessly and so efficiently while feeling confident and clear, okay? So if you've ever heard of this process, let me know. Do you know a process for creating achievable outcomes? Meet me in the comments. I'm like sitting here beside all of my essential oils and they smell so, so good. Okay, so creating achievable outcomes. I'm going to read you the entire process that myself and my clients follow, and this is how we are able to create multiple quantum shifts in our lives and our businesses and our relationships. So creating achievable outcomes starts with identifying what outcome you desire specifically. Very specifically. Remember, the subconscious mind needs specifics in order to go to work to support you. So what outcome do you desire specifically? Again, making sure that it is positively stated, toward motivated, not what you want to get away from. Okay? So it's I'm going to keep using the $10,000 a month example. Let's use $10,000 a month. So you could say it is now December 31st, 2019, and I am easily, effortlessly earning $10,000 a month from my business. Also, I should have mentioned, this is a really great time, if you haven't already, to break out a notepad, break out your journal. I love journaling, so this would be a great page to have in your journal, and then afterward, you can kind of get to work on fleshing out the more specific details. But for right now, having something to write all of this down on will be so helpful for you, because I find a lot of the times when I'm watching something, I'm there and I'm present and I see it, but then, you know, the next hour goes by afterwards and I'm like, what did she say? Get specific on the outcome you want to create exactly. And I want to know what you will see, what you will hear, and what you will feel when you have it. Get into your own sensory acuity and allow yourself to envision that goal being achieved in as great of detail possible. So when you achieve the income goal of $10,000 a month specifically, what are you going to see? What are you going to hear? What are you going to feel? You could see, clients emailing you saying, I'm so happy to begin working with you. You can see Stripe or PayPal notifications coming through because they've submitted their deposits for the program. You could see PayPal notifications for your passive income funnel. Perhaps it's a digital course that you're selling. You could see people thanking you for all of the amazing work. You could see physically the bank balance of $10,000 plus in your bank account, right? You can hear clients saying yes to you. Of course, I want to sign up. Of course, I want to work with you. Clients saying, I'm so excited to be a part of everything that you're doing. You're helping me change my life and my business. You can hear all those things. You can hear your friends and your family celebrating you, saying, how did you do that? Please show me how to do that. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. Chances are you will feel overjoyed, grateful, proud, accomplished, fulfilled. So the whole purpose of this, again, remember, as I said off the top of this video, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between something that's actually happened and then something you are imagining or have lived. As long as you can envision it and get into the seeing and the hearing and the feeling and create that deep sense of emotion for yourself, your subconscious mind believes that it's real, believes that it's already happened. And so you will elevate your energetic frequency, and therefore you'll be given more people, experiences, and things that align with you and what you're working towards. And that is how you collapse time and create that quantum shift for yourself. So really allow yourself to get into the vision, what you will see, what you will hear, and what you will feel when you have achieved that desired outcome specifically. So now that you've identified that, ask yourself, where are you now in relation to that outcome? Because again, of course, you want to be very clear on where you are now and where you want to be. That also helps you shorten and shrink that gap in between the two. Okay, you also want to know how you'll know when you have it. What will be the last thing you see, you hear, and you feel when you achieve that goal? And you'll understand why it's so important to identify that closer to the end of this training, because I am going to work with you to do time techniques and take you into the future on your timeline and pop that desired outcome, that goal there. And you have to know the last thing you will see, you will hear, and you will feel in order for that to work effectively. And it's also, again, tasking your subconscious mind with having already been there, having already experienced seeing, hearing, and feeling the last thing that you will experience when you achieve that desired outcome. Next, you want to know what this outcome will get for you or allow you to do. This goes back to when I was talking about developing SMART goals. You want to make sure it's ecological, of course, but what's it going to do for you? What's it going to allow you to do? If it's 10K months, is that going to allow you to hire your first team member and get support that you need in your business? Is that going to allow you to invest in a mentor to help you accelerate your business? Is it going to help you take that trip you've always wanted to take? Is it going to help you, save up for a future goal? Maybe it's buy a house or something like that. What is it going to get for you and allow you to do? Get very clear and very specific for that. And ask yourself, is it only for you? Are you the only person in charge of your results? Again, this is living at cause and living at effect, the big difference between the two. When you're living in cause, you're taking radical responsibility for yourself and the outcomes that you create in your life. You're solution-oriented and you're focusing on seeing any kind of challenge or setback as an opportunity for growth, right? And you'll always be asking, how am I at cause for this? What can I do with the resources and feedback that I have to change this desired outcome? When you're living in effect, you are playing the role of the victim, plain and simple. You feel like everything is happening to you and you're disempowering yourself to create any kind of desired outcome that you want. Sometimes other people are involved in achieving your goals. It's pretty rare, but let's say you and your partner are saving up to buy a house or get a new apartment. Again, that would be, no, you are not the only person in charge of that. It's a co-creative process, but you are still in charge of the desired outcome that you want to create, meaning you are still in charge of creating that 10K month, right? Your partner cannot help you with that. So again, just checking in and seeing, am I the only person in charge of my results here? Does anybody need to be in on this co-creative process? Is it only for me, or am I doing this for other people as well? That's also a really good self-inquiry question, because we don't want to be working towards goals for validation, right? We don't want to be working towards goals that are for anyone else's fulfillment other than ours. We don't want to do this because it's going to make so-and-so happy, because we feel like so-and-so will love us more. Then we'll be worthy of so-and-so's time and attention. We want to be doing this as self-fulfilling, okay? So again, really good opportunity for self-inquiry with this portion of it. And then you want to move on to how, when, and where do I want this desired outcome? So where will I be, right? Where will I be when I achieve the desired outcome of 10K months? When, again, that very specific date, and how. This is going to allow you to unpack all of the ways in which this could manifest. Of course, we don't want to micromanage the universe. A lot of the times the how is very different from the way that we planned it. But again, if you are somebody who is, where was I going with that? If you are somebody who has multiple programs, you're a service-based business owner or a coach, consultant, practitioner, you know, us in service to others. Perhaps you have a one-on-one program. Maybe you also have a group program, and maybe you also have a digital course. How much do each of those cost for others to invest in? Break down some numbers, do the math. This is specifically, again, with the income goal of 10K months. Your goal could be anything, but again, you want to really break down how you want it, how it might look for you. Maybe it looks like 2 one-on-one clients and selling out your group program. Maybe it looks like 1 one-on-one client and 10 sales of your digital course. Break down all the possibilities so you can actually recognize when you're making that progress. You can analyze the feedback with a lot more clarity and take a lot more aligned action to, again, collapse that time to get from where you are now to that desired outcome. And then you want to ask yourself, what personal resources, again, this is tangible and intangible, which I'll explain in a second, do you have that will allow you to achieve this goal? So a tangible resource would be your computer. It would be your one-on-one program that's already been developed. It would be payment gateways to receive payments. It would be your website. It would be social media to promote your services. It would be all of the knowledge and experience that you have. Intangible is like your grit, your perseverance, your confidence. It's things that like you can't physically hold or touch, but there's still a resource to you. Absolutely. Everything that's in here is just as much of a resource as something like the computer you're using to build your business. It's all going to work together to create that outcome as a co-creative process. So ask yourself, what personal resources, tangible and intangible, do you have that will allow you to achieve this, right? And then ask, do you know, or do I know anyone who has achieved this? What resources did they have? Again, open up your mind, expand your mind, look around you, because here's the thing. There is absolutely no point in getting discouraged, in feeling jealous or insecure by what others are achieving. And sticking with that goal of earning 10K a month consistently, it's super easy in the world of online business and online coaching to look around you and say, well, like, oh, it must be so nice, you know, so-and-so just had another 6-figure launch, and so-and-so's on her 6th trip to Bora Bora, and so is like building out her team. And you know, it's easy to see all of these glamorous numbers online, whether they be truthful or not, because remember, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. There are a lot of people don't share the behind the scenes, which is really unfortunate. But again, it's just a sign of what's completely possible for you, right? And chances are, if you're being triggered by it, it's something that you desire, right? It's something that you have some work to do around. So ask yourself, do I know anyone who has achieved consistent 10K or 5-figure months? What resources did they have, right? Open up your mind and be open to receiving that feedback and implementing and integrating some resources that you may not have thought of before, because that's only going to allow you to collapse time, right? And get from where you are now to where you want to be a lot quicker. And then I want you to imagine that you have it now. Imagine you've achieved that desired outcome now already. Other than the resources already mentioned, what resources did you use to get it? Again, this is another exercise to open up your mind and be open to possibility. When you imagine yourself in the scenario of the woman who is easily and effortlessly earning consistent 5 figures a month in her 10 business, in her business, be it 10K or more, right? Let's be open to something better. What other resources did she have? What other resources did she use to get it? It's okay if you can't think of anything right away, but chances are there's a few more that you haven't thought of. And these are all really great things to document, because you can tap into the resources that you have yet to acquire, again, to only help you accelerate this process of achieving your desired outcome while having your subconscious mind fully on board with it. And now I want you to ask yourself these very fundamental value-based questions, which bring so much perspective to anything you're working towards. First, what will happen if I get it? What will happen if I get it? Break down all the possibilities. Break them all down. What will happen if I get it? What will happen if I don't get it? Break it all down. What won't happen if I get it? And what won't happen if I don't get it, right? Sounds like a double negative, but I find that those double negative questions will only make you realize that the worst case scenario is you're just in the same position. You're never gonna fall back. You're never gonna revert back to something that hasn't even happened yet. Right? There is no failure. There is only feedback. The only way you will fail when working towards a desired outcome is if you choose to give up, right? That's the only way you can fail. Otherwise, it's just information to take with you the next time you try and do something else. So these questions, I find, not only help you get super clear on the full scope, the detailed vision of all that you are wanting to create, but then you will realize, well, what won't happen if I don't get it? Well, I'll just be in the same spot. And it's not a horrible spot to be in, but I'll have all of this information and this feedback to take action and continue trying again. Right? It's really powerful. It gives you back the power that you feel sometimes gets robbed by external circumstances, which in fact is not true. You always have the power within you to create whatever it is that you want to create. You just have to believe it enough and then take that aligned action and make sure that you are tasking that subconscious mind of yours with specifics, right? And living and breathing and showing up every day from a place that it's already yours. It's already done. You've already achieved it, as you take action in the physical space. Because, oh, wouldn't it be so easy if we could just sit here and kind of like conjure up in our minds all that we want to achieve and open our eyes and it's there? That would be incredible, right? But everything worthwhile, everything that you want right now is going to take some physical action while holding on to that vision and trusting that process and holding yourself in the energy. But that's what makes it so worthwhile in the end, right? Okay, then I want you to future pace it. Having done all of this work, I want you to write out your vision for the desired outcome in great detail. So using the example I said, it is now December 31st, 2019, and I have I am, I do. Make sure it is positively stated in the present or future tense, better yet, past tense, as if it's like already been done, already been done. Actually, I'm going to revise what I said. Make sure it's in the present or the past. Don't future paste it by continuously keeping it in the future, because then you're going to be telling your subconscious mind that it's always on the way. It's never here, right? There's a big difference between that. So you'll always feel like you're working towards it. It will always feel out of reach. So write it as if it is the present, or better yet, as if it's already happened, as if you've already achieved it. It's in the past tense. Infuse it with emotions. Remember what I said, what you will see, what you will hear, what you will feel when you achieve that desired outcome. Infuse those emotions and everything that you see, hear, and feel into that vision, and give yourself that resource to focus on every single day. Now I'm going to get into a technique, time techniques, to really help you put this in the future. Now, I recommend, because I've given you a lot to work through, which you haven't really experienced the time to properly work through all of this. That's why I said it's helpful to just have a journal and jot down everything I'm saying. Jot down this process and then go through it on your own after. I also recommend going through this technique after. But for now, just kind of sit back, enjoy, and participate, and allow yourself to create whatever vision for your desired outcome that comes through, because whatever you want wants you. And come back to do this time technique when you have a lot more detail to bring to it, because that's just going to make it more powerful, okay? And again, meet me in the comments. Let me know. Has this been helpful for you guys? Do you love this live coaching series? I have a few more videos planned out that I'm really excited to share with you. But I want to hear from you. I want your feedback. I want to know if today has been helpful, and if you're excited and you're feeling a little more energized about the goals that you're working towards. So what we're going to do first is discover your timeline. Discover your chronological subconscious history of your past, your present, and your future. This is one of my favorite NLP techniques. I use it for so many different purposes with my clients, whether it be clearing energy and moving through experiences of the past, or embedding future desired experiences on your future timeline, again, so you can quantum shift a lot faster to call them into your lived experience, so you can actually achieve them with a lot less effort. Okay, so just follow along. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're in a place that's quiet where you won't be distracted or disturbed, and just take a nice deep breath, take a sip of water if you have it nearby, and close your eyes. I can't see you, but I'm going to be trusting that you're following along. So just close your eyes. Now, I have a feeling if I were to ask your unconscious mind, where is your future? Where is your past? That you'd point in a certain direction, like front to back, side to side, up and down, or in some direction in relationship to your body. Now, it's not your conscious, logical, thought out answer that I want. It's your natural, unconscious answer that I want, your first impulse. So if I were to ask your unconscious mind, where is your future? What direction would you point? And again, I can't see you, but I trust that you have found the direction for your future. And now, where is your past? Again, although I can't see you, I'm trusting that you have found a direction. For me personally, to give you a tangible example, my future, when I do this exercise, my future is there. It's in front of me, meaning my past is behind me. And you notice how those directions imply a line, right? Some people, their future is that way and their past is that way, or vice versa. Some people, it's on a diagonal, right? As long as it's implying a straight line, that's the most important thing. And that is your timeline. That is how your subconscious views your lived human experience, okay? So now what I'm going to do is take you for your first journey on your timeline, and then we will go about inserting your goal, your desired outcome, on the future point in your timeline, okay? Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up if you're excited, because you're about to close your eyes again. So make sure you are super comfortable again, where you won't be disturbed, where you can really just take this time for yourself, okay? Okay, again, what I'd like you to do now is just go ahead and close your eyes. And now that you know what your timeline is, think of your timeline. When I say timeline, I don't only mean something you see, because in a moment I'm going to ask you to float above it. And by float, I also mean as sound waves float on the wind, or as you might float in a pool or a bathtub. However you imagine your timeline is just perfect, because it's yours. So go ahead now and just float above your timeline, making sure to look through your own eyes instead of seeing your own self floating. Now, staying up above your timeline, I'd like you to just turn around and face the past. Just turn around so you're facing your past and just float back into the past. At the unconscious level, there is no concept of time, so your unconscious can take as little or as much time as it needs. Just go ahead and float back into the past as far as you like. Now go ahead and turn around and face towards now, facing the future, and just go ahead and float right out into the future. Remember, at the unconscious level, there is no concept of time, so you can take as much or as little time as you'd like. Just go ahead and float right into the future as far as you would like. Good, now turn around and face now. So you're facing back into the past. And now I want you to float way, way up into the air. Float so high that your timeline seems to be only an inch long. And when you're there, just go ahead and float all the way back down into now. Just float right back down into now and come into the room. Right? The first adventure on the timeline is a powerful experience. Maybe you saw some things, maybe you remembered some things, because our unconscious mind stores all memories. Our unconscious mind remembers everything. Maybe you saw some visions in the future of things that you would love to create and manifest into your life. And we're going to be going about doing that now. We're going to take that goal, that desired outcome that you created for yourself, and we are going to insert it on the future in your timeline. Okay, so now that you know the direction of your timeline, you've taken a little journey on it by closing your eyes and sort of floating into the past, floating into the future, and floating back down into now. Okay, so we are going to put this goal on the future in your timeline, okay? So this is why I recommend, if you haven't fleshed out all of those details that we've gone over in creating achievable outcomes and setting smart goals for yourself, just pause, go do that work, come back and watch this. It will be available for you. Because what you need is the evidence, right? That last step we were talking about, the last thing that will happen when you know you've achieved this goal. The last thing you will see, hear, and feel when you have achieved this goal. And you need to be able to put yourself in that specific circumstance, that specific scenario, okay? So what I want you to do is now, what I want you to do now is get fully immersed into that vision, the vision of your desired outcome. See what you will see, hear what you will hear, feel what you will feel. Fully associate with it. Now I want you to adjust any kind of submodality that's going to make it more desirable for you. So if you feel like you want to make the picture brighter, you want to make it more color, You want to make it sharper in detail, have it play out like a movie instead of like a still image. Just adjust the image of this outcome for yourself so it is of the utmost desirable. So you could really evoke the emotion of having already achieved it and allow yourself to be fully associated. Make sure you are looking through your own eyes and not seeing yourself in this picture as if you're watching yourself in a movie, okay? Now I want you, remembering your timeline, to step out of that picture and float above your timeline. Float so high above your timeline so it seems to be only about an inch long, and notice the event on the specific date that you have set for yourself on the timeline. Notice yourself in the event on that specific date. So if it's December 31st, 2019, and you have created the outcome of consistent 10K plus months for yourself, see December 31st in the future on your timeline. Okay? Once you see it, I want you to float back into the event and fully associate with it, and then just step out of it and see yourself in it as if you are watching yourself like a movie. Allow yourself to experience it like that. And now I want you to energize it with 4 very deep breaths. Again, taking in all of the feelings, the emotions, the visions, all that you will hear, see, and feel when you have it. And take 4 deep breaths and just energize it. Now float back above your timeline, facing the future, and float back down into now, into the present. And you will have now just embedded that goal, that desired outcome on your future timeline. That's pretty powerful, right? Pretty powerful stuff. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. Creating desirable outcomes, setting smart goals for yourself, and putting your goals on your future timeline. So you're essentially tasking your subconscious mind with this desired outcome, with all that you want to create. So this is going to be at least a 4-part series. Like I said, I have 4 to 5 videos planned for once a week. I'm going to be going live on Wednesdays. So make sure, regardless of what platform you're watching me on, you turn on post notifications so you can continue to show up and get value out of this and move forward towards creating the life and the business and the relationships that you want to create. And I encourage you, if you found this helpful, if you loved the energy of this video, if you learned something, share this with a friend and have them join you, have them be an accountability partner for you. I have gained so much value of sharing experiences with other like-minded people in my life and leveraging them as accountability partners. I think alone we may be able to go fast, but together we can go farther. So as I said, if you found value in this, share it with somebody you love, invite them to be your accountability partner. We're going to be spending the next couple of weeks together on Wednesdays for this live coaching series because I just love you guys so much and I believe in you and your ability to be, do, and have whatever it is that you desire. And I want to thank you for showing up, not only for me, but for yourselves today. I'm so proud of you and I can't wait to see the goals that you break down, and I can't wait to hear about your experience journeying on your timeline and putting your goals into the future on your timeline. Continue to engage with me in the comments. I'm always here to support you.